Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Parrott Bros. Here again in my unit with my new daily. Now I've already made 4 changes. I'll give you a quick walk around and I want you to tell me in the comments what I have changed. Now no cheating, no looking through the comments and seeing what other people have put. Before you click open the comments, I want you to type the 4 things that you think I've changed. I'll give you a quick walk around straight after the intro. Okay, so did you get all 4? That's the first question. And if you did, do you think you got them all right? That's an interesting one. Now, of course, one would have been the seats that I am sitting in now. Now I've actually lost a bit of weight. They actually feel a bit better than they did before, which is annoying. But the main reason I took these out is so I could take my daughter to meet. She loves coming to the meets, and it's not safe for me to put a car seat into this bucket seat, and she's only 5, so she's going to be in a car seat for probably another 4 to 5 years because she's only little. So these seats have definitely got to come out. Now, aesthetically, there is 3 mods that I have done. 2 reasonably obvious, and one that I said I was going to do pretty much immediately. Now, if you said exhaust, you were right. I took that straight pipe off. I'll stick a picture up now for you to see what it looked like. But it was basically a straight pipe, 2.75 inch exhaust with Akrapovic, however you want to say it. I'm not fancy enough to know. With those big tips on. And it was just a bit too much. Leaving my house at 7 AM to go to car meets, all my neighbours were just like, do you know what I mean? Like, just, no. That even scared me, to be fair. And to be honest, it was just a bit uncomfortable. So that's one of the visual mods. Now the other 2, top half of the car upwards, so if you're in the right ballpark then you got it right. I took the window tints off because if you know me and you've watched enough of my videos, you know I absolutely despise tints. Now I love tints on any other car other than a TT, and that's because where the rear quarter meets the rest of the windows, tinted, not tinted, and it just looks weird. And if you've driven a TT with tints, you'll literally go to look in the mirror and it shows you're in complete darkness. You can see nothing behind you. It's limited anyway for vision. And yeah, they had to go. I just pulled them straight off. Literally, if you ever want to remove tints, get a hairdryer, warm them up, not too hot because you don't want to break the glass, but just warm them up and then you can I normally just cut a line with a Stanley knife gently and then just peel it straight off. If you get it warm, you won't have to take as much adhesive off. Top tip. And of course the roof wrap. Now with the roof, let me go over and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so previously the whole roof was completely wrapped with a carbon wrap. Now while it looked okay, it wasn't for me. Now I've left these trims carbon wrapped only because they were corroded and they've actually been rubbed down and primered. The previous owner told me because he couldn't get anyone to paint them. He got them to rub them down so they were nice and smooth and he got them wrapped. So it doesn't look too offensive, and whilst the weather's crap, I'm not going to be changing it. But when the weather gets a bit better, I'm going to pull them out, drop them down the body shop and get them painted just to restore the look of this sort of OEM vehicle. But I think automatically, just by removing that wrap, it has completely changed the look of the vehicle. Now these actually wrapped in carbon fibre from a distance don't actually look too bad. It contrasts because quite a lot of cars have black trim roof rail, so it doesn't actually look too far out of place. Now there is one more mod which I'm going to be doing today. It's a little bonus one, just because I want to personalise it, and I'm also going to talk you through some of the stuff that I want to do under the bonnet as well, just to give it my little touch, because let's be fair, no 2 people like the same thing. And that's what I love about the TT world and the car world. Whenever you go to a show, you could have 100 20-year-old cars, 120-year-old TTs all lined up, and there will not be one that is exactly the same as all the rest. Even if they're all standard, they'll all have different trim, different spec, different wheels. You know what I mean? They might have the sport suspension, they might have a 3-bar grille, they might have a 7-bar grille, they might have the honeycomb diffuser. If they're a 180, they'll only have a single-sided exhaust. All these things that just make them so personal. And I just wanted to put my touch on this car. I'm going to be driving it daily. I didn't want to spend too much money, but I have bought a few little bits already. But right, let me show you the last mod that we're going to remove this sun strip. Now all this is a piece of window tint on the inside of the car, so I'm just going to simply warm it up and then just get the corner up, and it should, I say should, just peel off, and I might have to take a little bit of residue off. I'll get the GoPro in and I'll show you while I'm doing it, but for me, I like a top tint. I like it where it fades from being quite dark to nothing, but I don't like the solid line. Although this is handy, I have sunglasses, and for me, it's just a little bit boy racer. I like the OEM Plus. I like to, when people drive past, they just look and go, oh, that's a really nice looking stock car with some tasty wheels and some massive brakes. Little do they know that this is a stage 2 sort of road monster for a TT, and it goes really, really well. But yeah, I just want to lose this top tint. So let me get stuck into that and I'll show you around it after. Okay, so we're going to be removing this, like I said, recommended to warm it up. I've actually driven the car here, so it's quite warm already. I recommend if you're doing anything with glass is to use a scraper blade or a Stanley blade, Charlie blade, whatever you want to call it. This is a plastic one, which if you're anything like me and not trusted, it's not likely to hurt you. It can if you're really stupid with it, but it's not too bad. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. You can pull this off. I'm probably going to try and work around it because I don't like pulling things on and off of the windscreen. And this is a new windscreen. So just try working a bit up with your plastic scraper. Now this is coming up reasonably easy because it's not been on there that long. Usually, sometimes these get put on the outside because you might see, or you might have seen on other people's cars, they'll have like a mark where the wipers have been hitting it. Once you get a bit of this up, if they've used window tint, it will come off nice and easy. Oh, and of course there is loads of adhesive. Perfect. Now all I'm going to have to do is just get some sticky stuff remover because that is tacky all the way along, which is disgusting, and I'm going to have to deal with that. But like I said, with a Stanley blade and a bit of cleaner, you can generally just work your way along and get it all nice and clean. What a difference just removing a simple sun strips makes. Now I'm not going to lie to you, that was an absolute pain in the behind. The adhesive did not want to come off as easy as the rear windows. Now I have a feeling that's because you have the heated windscreen on, off, and that just gives the glue that many more cycles, that or I didn't warm it up enough. One of the two, definitely probably the second one. But let me know what you think thus far. I like it, I love that OEM Plus look. Like I said, everyone's different, everyone's gonna like different things, but for me, that OEM Plus look is it just looks, I mean, these are a brilliant looking car anyway. We all buy these because of what they look like. But for me, subtle changes. Right, let's move on to the engine bay and I'm going to talk you through what I plan to do. Now let's talk through the bay. Now quite a lot of this I actually really like. They've done all the things that I would probably look to do. Now there's a few things I'm not a massive fan of. Now there's nothing wrong with them and some of you may really like it. But, and a few of you already commented, there's too many different types of blue. Now I completely agree with this because you've got obviously the glacier blue of the car. This is a different colour to this, different colour to the screws, different colour to the silicone, different colour to this, this and this. Now I have an original engine cover unpainted, so I'll probably stick that on. I've also got a black original strut brace, so I'll probably stick that on, and including this one clamp, because for some reason that's silver, this is blue. So if I get them swapped over, that instantly negates some of those. I may even maybe try and get a silver anodized dipstick rather than the blue, because the blue differs and that's annoying. But apart from that, there isn't a lot I would change. I actually really like it. The Porsche caps are a big difference for me. I think these look brilliant. The polished, right, so I like polished. I don't like owning polished because it never stays polished for that long. So this may or may not stay on here. I'm probably going to do what I did to the Noggy, which was paint the inlet manifold and the charge pipe, that crackle black, so it's got this nice sort of textured finish and it just looks really clean. So everything will go to black, and then I'll just have some blue accents. Now obviously I'm not going to change the forged boost pipe work because that goes to the front mount. I quite like this panel, although it needs a clean, with the Porsche caps and a few other bits. But apart from that, just keep it nice and subtle. I'm not going to change too much because, like I said, the previous owner did a really nice job on making it tidy. I just want to change some of the blue because it just doesn't match all the other blue. If it was a brighter blue, maybe that's an option. I have actually got some Noggy spray paint, which is closer to this than that is. But on a whole, a really, really nice looking engine bay. And I've had quite a few compliments about how nice it is overall. And I think that's just goes to show how much the previous owner has taken care of it. Color-wise, yet it's not going to be for everyone's taste. You've done a nice job of it, there's no doubt about that. It's just there's too many different types of blue. But on a whole, really, really nice. Polishing is nice, but I just hate polishing. I'd rather be driving. But yeah, really, really happy with the car. Okay, so yeah, that is where we have it so far today. Now I have said, like, I prefer the OEM Plus look, which is like the nicer wheels, because don't get me wrong, the stock wheels is actually a very, very nice selection of stock wheels. The brakes, who's going to complain about bigger brakes when you want to go faster? I will, like I said, change this just to make it look OEM as I can on the exterior. And then I'm just going to enjoy this one. This one is going to be at shows, meets, when the Noggy can't come because my daughter's coming. Or if my partner, if I can get her to drive the manual, she definitely won't drive the Noggy. But I want to hear what you want. Would you change anything? Would you have not changed some of the things I've changed? Do you love window tints? Hey, some people do. On any other car, love them. On this, not on TTs, I'm not going to lie to you. But let me know if you don't like something, I'm all ears. At the end of the day, we all like something different. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.